What's poppin', guys? Guy Champion here. And with the Hashira training arc now over, I think it would be a great time to do a Funko review and character breakdown for KAGAYA UBUYASHIKI Wiki Piki Wiki. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that. KAGAYA UBUYASHIKI. That sounds amazing. The contents of this video will blow you away. So hopefully you enjoy it. For the Funko review side of things, we're going to be critiquing the pop itself, figure out where in the heck this pop came from, and see if it needs the Shinobu treatment. With all that in place, let's get started. For starters, I will be referring to this character as Kagaya, because it's way easier to say and much shorter. And I don't want to sound like Inosuke pronouncing Tanjo's name wrong every single time. You know, that actually sounds kind of fun. So, we're doing it. So brace yourselves for all the wrong pronunciations of this character's name. There are two variations of this pop, but I found no difference in the pop itself other than the sticker attached to it. The two exclusives are a Crunchyroll and GameStop exclusive. The only real difference is that in the Crunchyroll variant, you got a Funko Fair ticket inside. But of the two stickers, I prefer the Crunchyroll one because I personally hate the GameStop. Ubashiki's pose is rather simple, but actually fitting. His health conditions that we will dig deeper into later on makes him not very active and slow moving, so seeing him in this pose just works. This pose also gives me some serious problems. I cannot find this pose anywhere. At the time, Funko only had the license for Season 1 of Demon Slayer, so that narrows it down quite a bit for me to dig through. He has a partial appearance in Episode 5, showing his back facing us, holding his crow. You would think that this would be it, but that is not the case. He is actually sitting down. The next appearance he makes is another partial appearance in Episode 15, where his crow returns from Mount Nataguma, and he is holding a crow yet again. But this still doesn't accurately depict the pop, because he is sitting yet again. Then there was a court case of Tanjiro and Nezuko. He is standing there, but is escorted by two of his children, and no crow is present. And lastly, the Hashira. He's sitting down, and again, no crow is present. So where in the hell did this thing come from? Did I miss it somewhere? Or, like, am I blind? The closest thing that I could find is on the manga cover for Volume 16, where he is holding the crow standing up, but the crow is now in the wrong pose. I give up. They just mixed two ideas together and they called it good. So that's what we got. Details wise, I think they did a good job on the scars on his face and the design of his haori. The fade between the purple and pink colors looks smooth. They made sure to even give him the lavender colored eyes too, which you had to kind of look closely in order to see. Everything was done nicely for this pop, but my only issue with it is one that doesn't revolve around the character, but more on Funko's design. I personally like the newer base stance, where it is attached to the character's back and not detachable by foot. I've had issues with these in the past, where the nub just does not fit right and it breaks or sticks into the Funko's foot. I actually had this problem with Susumaru's Funko Pop. Luckily not the Chase. This has not been the case for this particular pop yet, but I don't want that to happen. But overall, I'd rate this pop a 8.5. So what could make this pop a solid 10? The Shinobu treatment. Personally, I would make a few simple changes to the pop. Make the marking of the scars more apparent and connect to each other, since in the current one it's just placed randomly and the lines vary in width. Lastly, I would make his crow spread his wings out like in the manga cover for Volume 16. It would just add that much more complexity to the pop, and then we can get a clear indication of where it actually came from. Because I did so much research and it bugged the hell out of me. I could not find this thing. So if you guys figure out where this exact pose came from in the anime or manga, let me know in the comments below. Thank you. But that's it for the review side of things. So now let's dive into the character breakdown. Kaguya Ubuyashiki, headmaster of Hogwarts. Hoops. I mean the Demon Slayer Corps. He was thrown into this position at a rather young age of 4, after his father committed suicide due to not being able to handle the fact that the Slayers will continue to die at the hands of demons. His two other siblings died as well, and therefore he was the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. Alright, I'm done with the external references and jokes. His bloodline is cursed in the fact that men born into the family will not live over 30 years of age, and then the women born into the family will have to marry out of the family by the age of 13, or else the curse will make them suffer nearly the same fate, but with illness or tragic accidents. Movie where people die by freak accidents. Final Destination style. These wonderful facts came straight from the second fandom. When and where did this cursed bloodline come from? Well, the answer is quite clear. Muzan Jackson. Anyone in Muzan's bloodline will be gifted with this curse, and the only way to eliminate it based on their beliefs is to kill Muzan, the creator of demons. Rashiki has a wife, Amane, and 5 kids, 4 girls and 1 boy. More details about the kids in a future video. This curse takes the form of pink scarring that makes the flesh appear as if it is rotten. We see it mainly on Yoshikabu's head and arms. The spotting on his head actually makes him blind, where his wife and kids describe what is happening around him, as well as escorting him from place to place. As the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, he is highly respected among everyone. This comes with not only being their leader, but how he interacts with them and his dedication to the end group. He talks in a respectable and calm manner, handles situations free of bias, and is forgiving of people. So this makes sense why people would like him. He shows extreme dedication to the elimination of demons, as he appears in the opening scene on the Mugen Train movie, walking through the cemetery with his wife Amane. He walks through there daily and remembers the name of all demon slayers that have passed. He shows that much gratitude and appreciation for everyone that fights for his cause, and that's incredible. I couldn't even tell you every single person I graduated high school with, and I had interactions with mostly all of them at some point or another. He seems very open-minded and accepting of the Kamado siblings, and he sees high potential for them, as though if it were destiny. This plays a little bit into some of his abilities, one of which is foresight. This is an ability that runs in the family and helps them avoid disasters, and has mounted them to wealth and fortune. Being able to see and predict where an event will happen or take place is a perfect example of just being in the right place at the right time. This is all speculative, but I find it very suspicious that Giyu just so happened to be nearby when the Kamado, now I'm really starting to sound like a Inosuke, when the Kamado family was slaughtered, leading to Tanjiro and Giyu meeting, leading to Urokodaki training Tanjiro, and so on. It gets even deeper as the crow sends him on another mission right after defeating the swamp demon, leading him right to Big Daddy Muzan. Both of these examples between Giyu and Tanjiro had one thing in common: Ubashuki, sending them both on a mission that changed the course of the Demon Slayers forever. If this was all behind his ability of foresight, then he is really the true hero of Demon Slayer. He had a few other abilities though: smooth talking, extrasensory perception, and emotional masking. We'll talk about smooth talking first. He has the ability to move masses with his speech. He can put people at ease by the tone of his voice and rhythm. This has been done historically, and one of the most famous examples of this in real life being Martin Luther King Jr. Extrasensory perception. This ability was used in a couple different ways. This is shown at the Kamado's court case, as Ubuyashiki acknowledges that there hasn't been any changes to the Hashira count, as he is currently blind at this point in time. He is also able to sense when Muzan has arrived at the mansion. Lastly, emotional masking. He used this in his final moments before he went in the final episode of the Hashira training arc. He used this to lure Muzan into his trap of self-sacrifice. He held within him the murderous intent, hatred, and his composure when Muzan entered his home. Going back to his dedication of eliminating Muzan, he sacrificed his entire family to injure Muzan to the point where the Hashiras can take him out from. In the end, he was a genuinely good leader and truly dedicated to his purpose in life. He was a super cool character, and despite all the pain that he has suffered through, he at least went out with a smile on his face. Which is something hopefully you have after watching this video. If you did have a smile on your face, then feel free to like, comment your thoughts on Ubashuku, Ubashiki, Ubakiki, and then subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks for watching, and here are a couple of videos that I think you will like.